Hello, so the clocks in the UK have gone back, so that isn't actually the time now. It's about 20 past 5, not 20 past 6. So I'll unplug this for now. And then when I find a remote, I can put the time correct on it, but that will be annoying if everybody keeps going, well, the time's wrong, every 2 minutes. I won't do an hour stream tonight because I'm already quite tired because I got up really early today and I've been a bit ill. So, I'll do at least sort of 20, 30 minutes, but it depends how good the stream is as well. Hello, Nico Bellic. Have you been bowling recently? Yeah, I'm alright, Sheep Strangler. In fact, well, as I said, I was a bit ill today, but otherwise I've been alright. But not like really, really ill, just, bad stomach sort of thing. But thank you, Caleb. But yeah, so there's no theme for this particular one. I was doing a stream about now today because there are a few people that said they could see me do a stream now, but they couldn't see one if I did it, like 8 p.m. sort of time. All right, Mike. So yeah, nothing in particular today. I filmed a video on some helmets to put on for a video coming later in the week, and then I'll do the Halloween video probably tomorrow to put on for Saturday. All right, cool, Ray. Thank you if you can post it. I found a mask I was going to post to somebody else as well because I was looking for a particular mask and I actually stumbled across it today eventually after looking. Yeah, that bayonet is very efficient, isn't it, Sheep Strangler, on the end of an Enfield, that much force behind it. The problem is it gets stuck in stuff because of how easily it goes in. All right, Caleb. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, in Wales now? You can't buy, like, saucepans and things like that in supermarkets because the government said that's unfair on other shops that have to close. But you can buy them on Amazon. It's stupid. Yeah, so no books, no clothes, no saucepans, no kettles. But yeah, seems a very strange rule to me. Like, I can understand the thing of, in theory, if small shops can't open and supermarkets, for fairness reasons, can't sell other stuff. But it's kind of stupid because if people are in there anyway, they're going to buy them. Yeah, and I've done videos on the M40. Yeah, it's pretty efficient for it, isn't it, AK-47? It's a shame I don't have more rifles where the bayonets actually attached to them. Because if so, I'd like to try it with other bayonets, I can understand why, Caleb. All right, see you in 10, Mike. I don't know how long I'm going to be on for today's stream, but I've got a number 4 bayonet, but you wouldn't be able to chop with that because the number 4 bayonet is literally just a spike. It's in his drawer somewhere. Yeah, there we go. That's the number 4 bayonet, but that's just literally a cruciform spike. So, it's good for stabbing. It's not good for doing anything else. Because it is literally a spike. Yeah, they certainly work for the job of stabbing stuff, wouldn't they? Just the issue is that they were banned because apparently the stab wounds they make are too nasty. Right, I'm going to get rid of the person spamming the chat. Yeah, JJ, most bayonets in World War II ended up just being a spike type for cheapness reasons. But, it makes sense, doesn't it? If you could make 5 bayonets for the cost of 1 sword-style bayonet to do them as spikes, just do them as that. I think it's one of those weird things of, like, if you've been stabbed and then a medic tries to help you, you're more likely to bleed to death with a cruciform bayonet, as in a spike bayonet, than you are with a dagger bayonet. Well, I don't know how much truth there is to that. I imagine it just really more depends if somebody's poked you for a vital organ or not with it. But, yeah, it does seem strange to me when there's stuff like you can stab people with bayonets, but they have to be certain shapes. That seems a very strange rule to me. But they, the main reason they shortened bayonets, I can totally understand why, after using that Enfield bayonet, was just because of how hard it is to pull out big bayonets due to over penetration. Because, you know, like there was the issue with the big bayonets that you'd stab them in and then they'd go out the back of whoever they were meant to be thrust into, you know, and then would be really difficult to remove. All right, see if you're off already, Heitzler. Yeah, well, exactly. Sheep strangler. That's the bit that doesn't really make sense at all, does it? That how do you define essential? Because I'd think clothing would be pretty essential, you know, and so would some basic household items that aren't being classed as essential. So like light bulbs not essential because that's not very good if your lights go out, is it? You know, there's so many things that it just makes no sense if they're going to say that's essential or not. Yeah, JJ, and it was also because if you were fighting other soldiers, their doctrine was a longer rifle and bayonet gives you more reach than them. Kind of like, you know, where they had the thing with pole arms and swords before, where they had to make them longer than everybody else's. All right, Mr. Sauce. You can use any modern GOST filter with it, but again, getting one is harder said than done. I just answered you, don't spam a question. But yeah, like I said, the Enfield bayonet is really cool, especially because of the fact it does actually chop and all that, where most bayonets don't, because they're just a blunt edge. But yeah, I can understand why they didn't make them that long, very long. If a shotgun has the attachment for a bayonet to fit to it, then yes, you can. I'm pretty sure some, like, the old trench shotguns had bayonet mounts, didn't they? No, I enjoyed Borat 2 quite a lot, though, Flazzy, but I've not seen anything about all the... Well, I know, like, with Borat 1, it created lots of people getting upset, didn't it? But... Well, you used to be able to get S10s for, like, £30, now probably over £100. Is it in a plastic bag as well, Dan? But yeah, if you open the box, just open it outside before bringing it back inside. It's hard to say. I think Radon will have I think Thorium will have Radon down its decay chain, but whether or not it's anything significant, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're not class 2 instructor. Like an airsoft gun would be, an air gun wouldn't be. As JJ is just saying, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So, again, there's lots of stuff like that where I'm really not sure how the law works because they fall into such vague areas. Well, I've had doner kebab before. I don't know what you mean by a German doner kebab place. Is it one run by Germans? What? All right. Just for people who keep spamming the like, what is your favorite? This what is your favorite that. I'm not going to bother answering those questions because they just get spammed on every stream and they just waste everybody's time. Did you see the video, Richard, on the Bayonet versus the Pumpkins? Because I thought you might find that quite interesting because you know, the sort of stuff regarding pole arms, because it does essentially turn the Enfield into a slightly clumsy pole arm with that giant bayonet on it. You know, it's harder to thrust efficiently than a spear or, you know, a bill hook because of, you know, the not straight shape of it. But I was surprised how well it cuts. You know, it's not particularly good to hold properly to cut because obviously it wasn't really designed with that in mind, but I'm surprised, you know, how much force it can put onto the edge of that blade. Most gas mask producers are still making gas masks, Mr. Sauce. I don't know which ones wouldn't be producing. Depends on the law of whatever country it is, like how they surplus stuff. Yeah, I just thought you find it interesting, Richard, with just how much force it puts on like a polearm. But I can definitely understand now, why bayonets were shortened, because I can understand definitely now why 6 inches is all you'd need on a bayonet. Because the issue is with like those 17-inch bayonets, and there are even ones longer than those M1907 bayonets. When you get a bayonet at that length, it's pretty much just guaranteed to get stuck as soon as you thrust it in. Yeah, I don't get all the laws like that, Class 2 instructor. I doubt all the people who make laws like that get all of them, just because they've come up with weird things, like, oh, you can have this but not this, or if this goes over this power then it's legal, but under this power it's perfectly legal. Well, Dan, if you've missed me say it over and over again, I've really wanted a DP2 for ages. I have never ever seen one for sale, like that would ship internationally. I've looked on Etsy and eBay for like a year in a row. I've even got a search recommendation, I think, for a DP2 to email me if one turns up. I know Radium Quartzel got one recently, but apparently when I asked somebody he knows, he got it from like a private sale, where somebody would, right, hype, where somebody, in Russia or Ukraine or somewhere would literally just ship it to him, in a private thing. Yeah. The thing is, Richard, those Enfield bayonets are really tough, but yeah, it's I can completely understand it that, it's better to have a 6-inch bayonet because it's cheaper to make, you can make them stronger easily, and it's more of a practical length. But yeah, it's, those Enfield bayonets are lovely, but they are a bit impractical, especially because if you stabbed it into somebody, you might not be able to pull it back out very easily. Probably not. Have a look on sites that sell them, but deactivated L85s are normally £1,000 to £2,000. Ryan, you can try and ask me a very long question, but the problem is, will YouTube let you put it with the character limit? I've had the shit sparrow, so that's not been too fun. So I'm quite tired already. I got up at 6:30 this morning. I don't know if it's because the clock's changed, but it's just one of those annoying things of a lot of days I lay in too long. Today I woke up at 6:30, was fully awake, just got up, but then. Oh, that'd be amazing hype if there is a guy who'd be willing to send me one. Yeah, do a private sale. Just because the check source in it is so cool. And I love ionization chamber units as well. I assume I could put my variable voltage supply on a DP6, put 1.6 volts on, and then just clip it up and actually power it, assuming it still worked. The main thing I want it for is the check source. Yeah, I've set all mine except the Nixie tube clock. That's why it's turned off, because I need to find a remote for it to set the time to the current time. And I can't remember where I put the remote. It's probably either on there buried somewhere or in one of my drawers. If it's in one of the drawers, it shouldn't be too hard to find. But because I've been searching for other things in some of the drawers recently, that might mean it's ended up getting buried. Because that tends to be what happens. Like, I look for, a particular thing in the drawer, and then everything gets buried further down. You can. I mean, if it was current British stuff, it shouldn't really be getting sold on eBay, if that's what you mean. But there's no law in the UK saying you can't have Gen 3 night vision or whatever. Most of it did make me laugh pretty hard, Fluzzy. I'm trying to think which bit made me laugh the most. I thought the bit where he went into the synagogue was pretty funny, especially because it's kind of, quite heartwarming in a way how the woman reacted to him, in a sense, being really tolerant, rather than, saying, oh, just get out sort of thing. I'm trying to think. I swear there was a bit in it that really, really made me laugh, but I'm trying to remember what it was now. But yeah, the phone shop bit was good. The bit with the fax machine kept making me laugh, of putting just tiny messages on the fax and then like dick pics being faxed back to him. Yeah, exactly. I see that bit. I've done lots of gas mask recommendations, Jacob. The issue is at the moment, due to Corona, the prices of masks are just going silly, so it's hard to say, like, you can find this mask reliably for this price. Well, that's why he had to get the daughter character in this one, JJ, because Sacha Baron Cohen was saying in like an interview he couldn't really do Borat thanks to how much more, famous the character was due to the internet, because everybody would know that it was fake, so he could only do Borat with a few people, That's why he had the daughter character to kind of honey trap people. Yeah, just tell me when you've done it, and then I can try and answer you. Do it on. I'll tell you what, Ryan. Write it as a comment on the Lee Enfield video that went on today. The Bayonet video. Write it on there. Tell me when you've done it, and then I can go and check it. And if you do it on that, it also means there shouldn't be words YouTube randomly hides like the streams. Yeah, the funny thing I find, Hype, is that Sacha Baron Cohen, the guy who does it, is Jewish, right? And loads of people say, like, oh no, Borat is this horribly anti-Semitic, racist thing. I saw a stupid one-star review of Borat earlier saying how it was white privilege, all this. It's like, the reason he acts that anti-Semitic is it's taking the piss out of people that actually think like that. I don't know what you mean by that, Chad. Fire material? Don't know what you mean by that, but don't talk about illegal stuff if it's illegal stuff. Oh, yeah, what the bit Julie Rubiani, whatever he's called, that guy. Yeah, I rewatched the first Borat today, and the bit that I was laughing in hysterics at was when he goes into that stadium, where he sings the Kazakh national anthem, but doing it, to the theme of the American anthem. But the bit before that, he's going, "May George Bush drink the blood of all of the Iraqi children," or whatever, and they all are cheering him on. And you think, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, what do you mean, like a Chad from? Do you mean like a troll with good material? Not really. Most of them have just been spamming silly stuff. The only troll I've had on this stream so far was just a guy spamming random comments. And another guy that asked a question, I answered it, and then he just kept spamming it even after I answered him. So, yeah. I like Sacha Baron Cohen stuff. The Ali G stuff can be quite funny as well. That's like one of his much older characters. The Ali G one on banned weapons is pretty funny because it's very still relevant with the way the UK's gone with different knives. It's not Canadian, the one in my profile picture. It's a British light anti-gas respirator. If you look up British light anti-gas respirator, it's that one. The Canadian C3 is probably what you're thinking of. I haven't seen Bruno in ages. I can't really remember much about Bruno. But I know there was lots of really good Ali G and Borat sketches as well from like the TV show where he would just... I'm trying to remember what the Borat sketch was that was really funny. It might have been the one from the Bowls Club or something where he's like really, really annoying the old people. Where like he's completely, not understanding the rules of bowls. Right, I'll go check it now for you, Al Ryan, because I might that at least might show up for me then. Oh, 66 comments on that Enfield video already. Has the comment showed up? Did you do it on the Enfield one, yeah? Oh, I suppose some of the comments from that, though, were the people who did it as... Oh, right, yeah, your comment showed up. It was on Howard for your review. Right. Hello, how are you today? I hope you're great. I have one question. Just wonder if you don't mind. I'm planning to get me a Geiger counter from the 900 mini instruments, the yellow one. I know which one you mean. The 900 EA version. I was looking at anything radioactive for Geiger counters, and you'd like to know what the difference is between the 900 EA and 900 EB and the 900 EC. So you want to know what the difference is? Right. Do they have a picture of all of them next to each other? I'm assuming it might be a different probe. So you said 900 EA, 900 EB, and 900 EC. Let's look at all of them. Because I had a much older version of a mini monitor. My one, wherever that is. Right, the 900 EA seems to have a very similar probe to the one I had. They have the EB pictured. Right, on the actual page, I can't really see any difference, but I'm assuming it's the probes they come with, in all honesty. So there's the MC70, ZRP, A1, E5, EA. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, EB, EC. All right, what they're saying, each of them comes with the same thing, but the reason they're calling them B is because they're B grade in terms of damage to the instrument. So every single one of them comes with the same sort of Geiger Muller tube. So yeah, all of them would be identical. It's just saying that they're B grade. Out of all of them, though, the 900 EB looks the best because it looks like you can detach the probe at the end of the probe as well as at the end of the Geiger. Yeah, I hope that sort of makes sense, but I think you'd be pretty happy with any of them. The best one on there, though, in terms of my opinion, is the one with the pancake probe, the 900 PGM, but I bet that's really expensive. Yeah, it's 600 quid. It's like an extra 200 quid for that one. Yeah, that's got one of those lovely Ludlam pancake probes. But yeah, just make sure you get one with an alpha beta gamma probe, like the mica window one, but all the ones you listed are those, the £400 ones. And you'd really like a mini monster because they are very good clicking Geiger counters with a very easy to read display, perfect for scientific use. And they'll pick up pretty much every type of radiation, alpha, beta, gamma. But yeah, like I said, things like radius scans I'd say are a bit more practical in terms of small size, but if you just wanted something on a bench that's really kind of nice, there's a reason they were so popular. Nathan says, can I get a shout out? There you go. Yeah, no worries. No, I was saying, Hype, I disconnected the power because I need to find the remote because otherwise it's an hour in front of the real time because the clocks have changed. So as soon as I find where I've put the remote, I'll plug it back in and reprogram it. But I knew if I had it plugged in for this stream, every other comment would be, your clock is wrong, your clock is wrong. That is the S6. If you look up the S6 or SR6 mask, that was the one that the SAS used, and the British Army just in general used from like 1960s to the 1980s when the S10 replaced it. Oh, I mean, that's personal opinion, Siberian, but the pewter one I've got's pretty awful. I don't know why we wouldn't be cool, Joshua. What's my beef with you, supposedly? If you made a comment that didn't show up, it probably just didn't show up. That'd be the reason I didn't read it. It depends if you want to keep it or if you need the money. Because if you could easily get a sale of it for £100 plus, then that money would be useful for you. I'd advise selling them. Oh, so technically, my pewter mask might be kind of valuable as this company doesn't exist anymore. So what was that, like the CCP basically purging Chinese companies that were making unsatisfactory PPE or what? That wouldn't actually protect anyone? Right, I'll have to Google it, Floof, because I don't recognise the name of it. That looks very, very professional, but sadly I don't have one. So yes, I would say that looks like a very, very nice professional Geiger counter. I don't have one. Oh no, so pewter got purged. That's kind of funny. For yeah, making masks where the straps ping off. Yeah, and the masks fold in on themselves. All right, Rajiv? Well, the thing is, Fuzzy, as much as I don't trust the CCP, I trust if they want stuff for their own internal use, they'd want stuff that would be good. For the most part, eBay's fine for buying masks. You'll get a couple of dodgy sellers on there, but for the most part, you get a pretty good buyer sort of guarantee. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've been used for military stuff before, Floof. They look very good. Like I said, there's lots of stuff like that that's very good. At the moment, I can't really justify buying anything like that just because I'm saving up for the bunker. That's pretty cool, even. Or Evan. Yeah, I did, Rajiv, thank you. Although when we went bowling, I don't know if you were on when I said, there was like nobody wearing a mask in there except myself and my friends. We were the only people who were actually following all the rules and wearing masks. Every other dickhead, basically, as soon as they got past the guy at the door who was checking you had a mask on and all that when you went in, were just taking their masks off. That sounds very interesting, Whoosh. If what, so as in like the Union during the American Civil War? I don't think there'll be a real zombie apocalypse, Joshua. If you mean something like, could there be some horrible rabies epidemic or something at some point, sure, but actual like Hollywood zombies, no, I don't think so. Just eBay. 40. They turn up on eBay fairly commonly. Those. It's just getting them for a good price and as a common. The much weirder one I've got was the one I did the video on before, which kind of looks like an Evo Mark IV, but it's not. Impossible to answer something like that because you can get some of it valued with insurance stuff, but obviously I don't value every single item. Right, let me look that up, Whoosh. That's a pretty cool looking thing. That reminds me of some of like the early FN little pistols. Or is I see. So it's actually the Union is like the company that made it, rather than it being the Union is in the United States against the Confederacy kind of Union. Maybe, Richard. For questions like that, Nathan, there isn't really a best mask. There's just masks that meet the adequate requirements, and it's up to you. Just get something that makes a good seal and uses P3 or P100 filters. I've seen a few of those channels, Fuzzy. I only like the ones that are kind of, like the more truthful stuff, if that makes sense. Because I know there are people who just literally do a video every week about another thing China did wrong. Because here's the problem: if you wanted to do everything Britain did wrong, you could find, lots of things to do in a video. They're basically light filters, Nick Knives. It's a bit like if you have a torch with coloured filters on to let different light through. It's similar to that. It's to do with like either laser designators or for like being more aware or less aware of certain colours. Again, how useful that would actually be to the user, I don't know, but that was the idea of it. Well, I don't think pumpkins have rights, James, but yeah, the Lee Enfield bayonet certainly Lee Enfield bayonet certainly does the job, doesn't it? That's not a bad price, alright. I'd say go for that if you saw them for that price. And it was in good condition and all that. Yeah, it might be worth getting. I mean, like, the quality control on some of those masks can vary a bit, but if you get one in good condition, it's not bad. You know, it will do the job of protecting you if you put a good filter on it for just basic stuff. No, I didn't, Mike. Let me have a look. Make weapons great again. I'm surprised they haven't taken that down for infringing on the Trump campaign or something. But yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, the problem is in a year's time, you have to do a 2021 variant. But yeah, nobody does weapons like me. Gotta tell you, I do the best dusters. Well, they can't talk about dusters now on YouTube, can we? Or we might get community stricken or whatever it was. Yeah, so why was Christmas then the copyrighted thing, Mike? That was a weird thing. Yeah, there's a couple of different variants of Arasakas, aren't there? There's one that was meant to be quite good, and the other one that was the quite underpowered one. Probably another 10 minutes or so. What's cool clock? Class 2 instructor? That clock's not plugged in at the moment because I need to reset the time on it. What's a Dapu mask? Let me look it up. When I Google image it, there's Daft Punk stuff coming up, and there's just some regular surgical masks. So I assume it's not those. Is it like a brand of mask? Yeah, you already said, Joshua, you like the Arasaka, and I responded to you. I'd stream most days, Nathan. No, this weekend I had off work Sheep Strangler, which is actually pretty lucky because I had the shits earlier. But that was just because I booked it off as holiday because it was my birthday Friday. No, that mug isn't a special one. It's just one that came with an Easter egg. So, however, even with the great PPE purge, it seems there's a loophole since they only force to liquidate the company, which are all limited liability by Chinese law, and the owners get off scot-free. So basically, does that mean people get put out the job, but the people can go and make a new company, or what? Yes, Enderboy free, but sadly not very many. And sadly, no videos on YouTube of the actual live firearms. I wish there was, because if I'd had the YouTube channel and I shot them, I would have done a video on them. But nothing special, just like a 22 long rifle, bolt action, whatever that was. Nothing very fancy. And the other one was like a shotgun. No, I don't know about Among Us. Well, they'll just come up with a different name, basically, yeah. And the same people will just form a new company. I don't know if I might get in trouble, Sparrow, if I manufactured something like that. Yeah, that'd be a sort of interesting thing, though, wouldn't it? But I was going to say something now. I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. So yeah, my job before I next do a stream is to find where I put the remote for that. Oh, there it is. All right, I've already spotted the remote. So we'll plug it back in and I can set the time. Oh, when the numbers have stopped working, I have to get that. There we go. I have to have a play about with that because the end one isn't displaying properly again, which means it might have to sit tighter into the socket it's in. I'll try taking it about after the stream, but yeah, I can at least set the time on that now. So yeah, I'll have a look at that later on. All right, thank you, Alex. Hope you recover from it all right. I did have a Belgian beer the other day, actually, for my birthday. I bought one. You mean what is one? Well, it's hard to say now, Otto, because so many of them have been overpriced. NATO Fred and a voice diaphragm. Maybe Romanian M85s. The Romanian M85 is the only one I can think of that turns up like semi-reasonable prices and is all right at the moment. The problem is at the moment just so many masks have just sold out or are being overcharged. Person says, look at this graph, and there is no graph. What an amazing comment. Anyway, I'll be off in a minute because as I said I wasn't going to do a very long stream today just because, as I said, That's all right, Caramel Warzone Vintage. I'm glad you found some of the stuff useful in, like, not buying really bad masks or really dodgy old filters or whatever. It could be that hype because it was fine before I unplugged it. It was just an hour behind or hour in front. What, as in running for politics, and I certainly wouldn't want to do that. But yeah, I'll leave it powered on for a bit of hype, and then later on I'll set the time correctly because I normally just leave it plugged in all the time. My favourite Eastern Bloc mask, Siberian Scientist, was probably the Shums, as in SHMS. The PBF was also very well made in terms of mask quality. In terms of like other masks that weren't Soviet, as in like Czech, or Polish and all that, probably the CM4 was a really good one. They eventually arrived at Decory, 8 months late? Oh, and so they turned up 8 months after you wanted them, and they're not very good. You just said another rifle was best just then, Joshua. Now you're saying the Tavor, and then you were saying the M16 before. It's just a shame they never did a version of the PBF which just had a filter screw in it, because the PBF has an oral nasal cup and everything in it. In terms of quality, it's really well made. It's just I don't like the fact it's a cheek filter mask. Very good now, Shed on Fire. I'm about halfway there, assuming one turns up at a reasonable price, or slightly over halfway there. Again, it kind of depends how much somebody wants for one and all the other stuff. But in terms of what I've got saved up for it so far, I'd say halfway there. Anyway, I'll be off now. Thanks everybody that's come on. It's been quite a good stream tonight. There wasn't too much weird spam on it for a public one. If I stream tomorrow, it'll probably be a members one. But yeah, see anybody tomorrow. And I need to get the Halloween video filmed. Oh yeah, I was going to say, the videos this week will be a bit weird. Wednesday will be a video as normal. But rather than there being a video Friday and a video Sunday, I'm just going to do a fairly long Halloween video for Saturday. So it'll be a bit different than other weeks, but, I'm just going to do that because I'd rather do one decent length video that's quite well put together rather than just trying to cram it in with other videos. But yeah, see you all. Goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen. Blah, blah, blah.